Officers on the pursuit call. Suspect vehicle was last seen heading north near the power station. Containment will be set up ahead of his last known direction of travel. This call is still code 6. Handle on TAC 3.
Hey, what's up guys? This is another video. This one's going to be rather quick in comparison to the other ones because this is a small job. As you can see, this is what we got going on here. We're painting, but this is a harness bar that I got for the S14, and I'm just painting it to match the yellow on the inside. Here, let me get out the way of the window. But yeah, the yellow on the inside, I'm painting the harness bar to match that, to kind of give a decent idea of what it'll look like when I go for the cage, because the cage in the future is going to be yellow as well to also match. And then of course we'll be replacing the harness bar with the cage. So throwing on some paint, not the best paint job, but just some paint in general to do that. And then I'll kind of walk you guys through how to put this into the car. Now, the biggest thing that I've had so far with this one, and you can kind of peep that the interior is together now. We got the carpet in and all that stuff, seat rail, that's a Planet seat bracket. Everything else is kind of good. You can still see the crack on the PNC dash. That video will be coming soon. But when it comes to the bolts, so the biggest one that I'm trying to figure out right now is the bolt for the seat belts, because I don't know for sure if these are my seat belt bolts. Now they do fit in there, but they are extremely small inside that hole, so it's kind of hard to tell if they actually do fit in there or not. So I will check that. Then for down here, you're gonna need this bolt hole. These seem to fit in comparison to these. These seem like they just kind of slide in and do their thing. So I think they might all be the same. I'm not 100% sure. So in the meantime, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to look it up and see what size the bolt holes are for the seat belts, the upper and lower ones, and then see if they're the same, so on and so forth. Take a trip to the hardware store. The only other thing is on the passenger side of the car, previous owner, when they did their version of a rust repair job on the car, they welded a solid plate right here. So I'm gonna have to drill that out to gain access to the bolt hole that's on that side for this one, because the harness bar, it bolts to that hole, goes across, bolts to this hole, and then two of those supports, they come down off of that and bolt to these holes. And then that pretty much sums it up right there. And here they can be a little bit of a pain to install, so we'll go ahead and paint this. I'll figure out that bolt stuff off camera, and then we'll get back started with it. If you guys don't have seatbelt bolts, this is the size that they are for that bolt hole. 7/16 by 20, only by 20, because the most common one that I was finding was 7/16 by 14, I think, and those do not fit at all. They don't fit. Excuse me. But I got one there. That one's a 2-inch, and then the one down there I got as a 1-inch. I got the 2-inch one because it has to go through the V-pillar cover, and it also has to go through the sidebar. So I wanted to give it some length on that one, and then I gave those the 1-inch because they just go straight into there through the carpet and through the bolt hole for those. So we're good to go. And once this paint finishes, I'll take the tape off and we'll go about popping them in. And I'll have to drill out this hole so I can get access to that bolt hole. in comparison, this is a pretty quick video from the other ones that I pretty much do. So that's it, honestly. So to give an explanation, of course, I already went over in the prior clips the bolt sizes. The bolt size down here is the same as the bolt size up here. So just get 4 bolts. Again, I used the 2-inch ones for the top and the 1-inch ones for the bottom. I just got it from the hardware store and sent it home with that. Now, if you do have your seatbelt bolts, then obviously you could just reuse them. But if you don't, and you're like me, you gotta get some, that's the size. But it's pretty straightforward. It's just 6 bolts. The 2 down here, 2 up here, and then the one that comes with the what's this thing called again? The one that comes with the harness bar is going to be this one, and that's what connects these two. But the whole thing is solid. Like, I can't shake this without shaking the car. Pretty cool. So it probably gives you a little bit of chassis stiffness as well. So, you know, if you're into that and you're not planning on rolling, you know, with a cage in the future, there you go. But yeah, if I had the seat belts themselves, I would do an extension on how to wrap them around here. But I guess when it's time to do the install of the seats and the seat belts, at least for that side, I'll go ahead and do that. But typically this is where you put the seat belt harness, and then it'll go through your seats and buckle in to you, pretty much. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for you guys. Again, quick video, and we'll just end it off with a little pan around the interior, I guess, so you can see how it's starting to come together. We got the dash in there, we got the wheel in there, we got the carpet, all that stuff. And then now we're starting to get the other structural thing, the harness bar. So as far as the interior goes, the next thing is just the seat that comes with the side mount brackets and the seat belts that go there, and that'll pretty much be it as far as this goes, and of course the passenger side in the future. But yeah, so I just say like, comment, subscribe, follow the build. Until next time.